Hi, it's Craig from Record Power again. As part of the know-how series, what we're going to do today is look at the SC1 and SC2 and the jaws that complement that range. So if we look at the SC1 and SC2 first of all, you'll see what you get in the package. The SC1, you get the jaw as standard with the chuck key, the wood screw, and obviously the screws that complement the range to hold the jaws in place. With the SC1 you will need to buy an insert to suit your lathe. The SC2 again comes complete with the jaw, the wood screw and the screws that complement, and the actual key, chuck key, for actually using and operating the chuck in use. But what we're going to look at today is the other four jaws that complement that range. So before we show you the rest of the jaws available with the SC1 and SC2, I just want to show you the standard jaw that you get with the chucks. This has got the oak beak design on there for internal gripping, and the standard dovetail for gripping obviously on the outside of the dovetail. If you put in the standard jaw on the SC1, you've got an expansion capacity of 39mm to 49.5mm, a contraction of 29 to 39mm. If you want to put square stock in there, that'll allocate between 21 and 33mm. Obviously that changes slightly on the SC2, so it's a slightly bigger jaw. You've got an expansion of 39 to 63, a contraction of 29 to 51, and again for the square stock we're looking from 21mm to 46.5. So that's what you get with the chuck as standard, and now we'll have a look at the other jaws that you can actually purchase to enhance the range. So the first accessory that is a must buy really if you're buying any of these miniature chucks is the 6/8mm faceplate ring. Obviously what happens with this is we can screw that straight into your ball blank. Then what you do with your standard 35mm jaw, we can put that into the recess, which is a dovetail recess, and then as you actually open up the jaw itself, that attaches to the inside, making it nice and secure. Now the advantage of this as well is if you've got a couple of jobs on the go, a couple of ball blanks on the go, you want to take this off at any time and leave the actual faceplate ring on the bowl, you can re-chuck it or remount it really accurately, which is difficult to do if you're doing it any other way. So that's the 6/8mm faceplate ring. Another of the most popular jaws on the larger size chucks is the pin jaw. So what we've done, we've replicated that for the SC1 and SC2. We've given you the pin jaw. Now you can see it mounted here on the SC2. So with expansion you're looking at 39.5 to 60mm. On a spigot on the inside it's from 6mm to 26mm, and contraction with square stock you've got from 4.5 to 25mm. Now it's 25mm deep from the face, and what we've done that at 90 degrees, so you can slide your timber on there and use that as a datum as well. And then we've also got a dovetail on the end there, so you can use that for finer work as a dovetail. But what you can also do is use it on your bowl blanks by using the faceplate ring and mounting it on, and that allows you to get behind the bowl as well while using the chuck as well as the inside. So if you were to mount that on the SC1 chuck, obviously the size has changed slightly. So with expansion you would get from 39 to 47.5, contraction is 6mm to 14.5, and then the internal or the square stock is 4.5 to 12mm. So that is the difference. So that's another add-on that you can add to the range of jaws that you've got there. So now we have one of the favourite jaws in the range, which is the dome jaw, the 62301. Obviously, as it says, the dome on that allows the user to get right in. So when he's got the smaller work on there, we can do that and get the small working, grip internally, and it allows you to sort of get your hand really close and get maximum support when you're doing the finials or the small doorknobs or anything with an internal grip on there. And it's going to be a safety issue because this is rotating round. If we did catch ourselves on there, it's not going to do much damage. Now obviously it mounts on both the SC1 and SC2. You can see the numbers on there that correspond to the jaw slides, so it'll square up nice and even. Now if you're putting it on the SC1, which you've got there, the sizing changes slightly between the SC1 and SC2. So on the SC1 you've got 4mm to 11.5mm on a spigot, and if you want to hold square stock in there, it's 4mm to 11.5. On the SC2, the contraction or the spigot is 4mm to 25.5, or again same with the square stock, 4 to 25.5mm. But obviously safety in mind all the time when we're using this one. We're going to be close up with the turning tool, as knuckles are going to be close in. Any problems we have there, the safety issue, it's nice and round, a lovely finish on that at the same time, and mounts up with the screws hidden away. So last but not least, we've got the pen jaws. Obviously only two jaws with this one. This instance we've got it on jaw slide number 1 and number 3. You can see obviously you'll set your square stock in there for drilling, so this will be mounted on the lathe, and then we'll drill from the tailstock end to go through for when you're doing your pen blanks and so on. The square stock size obviously changes slightly from the SC2 to the SC1. On the SC2, which is this one, the square stock it'll take is from 14mm up to 26mm, and on the SC1 it's from 14 to 24.5. Again, good quality finish on there, holding the square stock in, allowing you to drill not only your pens but square stock in general. So just show you the full range again. We've got the dome jaw, the pin jaws on there, the pen jaws, then we've got the faceplate ring and the standard jaws that come part of the kit when buying the chuck. I hope that's been helpful. Any questions, please come back to us.